You've seen a map like this hundreds of times, categorizing that shape in the bottom right corner as a quiet, flat desert island. But two-dimensional projections stretch the globe. Sitting far from the equator, Australia is visually minimized, while northern landmasses appear disproportionately large. When you peel it off that flat grid and look at the actual geographic data, the perspective shifts. Australia is a massive geological anomaly. It is so sprawling and intensely isolated that it functions as its own separate planetary ecosystem. If we move past the cultural assumptions, we find a landmass defined by physical extremes. We see tropical rainforests bordering arid deserts, and biological systems that evolved in total quarantine. To accurately comprehend what is happening here, we have to look past the map and examine the raw data of an isolated superlandmass. This geometric area chart shows the first extreme, sheer scale. It is the largest island on Earth, accounting for 86% of Oceania's landmass. Zooming in, Western Australia alone covers 2.64 million square kilometers, making that single territory larger than Alaska and Texas combined. Altogether, the total continental footprint covers nearly 7.7 million square kilometers. Because the population centers are separated by such immense distances, relying solely on ground transport creates significant gaps in national connectivity. To solve for this distance, Australia utilizes a network of 2,180 airports. Globally, only the United States and Brazil maintain a higher number of flight hubs to keep their territories functional. This massive scale is a physical barrier that has forced a complete adaptation of national logistics for human civilization to thrive. That same immense scale allows for a diverse environment that contradicts the common image of the country as a single arid desert. Take a look at the dense greenery hugging the northeast coast. This is part of the Australasian realm, the third largest rainforest system on the planet, which stretches all the way into New Guinea. This data map shows how climate zones align across the globe. Tracking latitude lines, Sydney and Canberra sit around 33 and 34 degrees south, sharing a climate bracket with Buenos Aires. On the west coast, Perth shares its 31-degree equatorial distance with Shanghai. While the wildlife is famously dangerous, the weather is statistically much safer than in North America. The United States endures an average of 1,200 tornadoes a year, leaving destruction like this in their wake. Australia, by comparison, sees almost none of this specific atmospheric violence. The sheer size of the landmass acts as a climate incubator, supporting wildly different biomes within the same borders. Beyond its landmass, a continent is defined by the deep ocean surrounding it. Being severed from other major landmasses turns geographic remoteness into a biological and atmospheric engine. In Tasmania, the Cape Grim region is hit by strong westerly winds that travel across thousands of miles of open water without touching land. This results in some of the cleanest air quality measured anywhere people live. Millions of years of oceanic quarantine have also earned the country a classification as one of the world's 17 megadiverse nations. It is home to thousands of endemic species, animals and plants that developed here and exist nowhere else. That isolation extends to the seabed, producing geological features like Ball's Pyramid. Rising 572 meters straight out of the ocean, it is the tallest volcanic stack on Earth. Its southern positioning also grants a view of rare atmospheric events. Under the right conditions, the aurora australis, or the southern lights, becomes visible, reflecting these vivid colors off the water. When a super landmass is cut off from the rest of the world, standard ecological and geological processes produce these unique, localized anomalies. Pulling back to a macro perspective, it becomes clear that Australia is the primary anchor of the Southern Hemisphere. Its economic and cultural influence is so large that neighboring islands are pulled into its orbit. The sovereign nation of Nauru uses the Australian dollar as its official currency, and their most popular sport is Australian rules football. Physically, the volume of the landmass is a major obstacle for ocean currents, dictating the flow and temperature of the waters in this corner of the globe. Australia shows that a map is only one way of seeing the world. When you look at the physical evidence, it reveals an isolated world that dictates its own internal rules while permanently shaping its regional neighbors.